Hello again, adventurers. Welcome to the exciting video from early spring in Serbia. Today we're gonna be exploring some caves in Djerdap National Park, the Gradasnica cave, and Buronov Ponor. So let's get into the vlog. We are hiking near the Golubac town, which is located just by the Danube river that you can see in the background. There is more deforestation and more fields for grazing animals here, because this is still not national park, it's just on the borders. You can see some bigger trees which are so important for the environment, especially the water retention. They are the best thing for cooling down the earth and helping to fight the climate change. Fortunately, Serbian government is very corrupt, so illegal logging is a big issue here. Even before, the whole chunks of forest just disappeared from one day to another. Alright, and over here we're going for another hike, this time on the other end of Djerdap National Park, near the town of Donji Milanovac. We're very disappointed with the lack of hiking paths in Djerdap National Park, just following the random logging roads. Over here we are near the village Miroch, where the trail to Gradasnica cave starts. As you can see, even this trail was funded by Austrian Development Cooperation, so Serbians have very little interest in hiking. After about 1 kilometer of walking on the trail, we got to the entrance of this smaller cave with a little stream coming out of it. So even though the water was really cold, I decided to take off the shoes and explore the cave a little bit. So even though the entrance was quite small, once you're inside you can walk upright, no problem, and I was going quite deep into the cave. I didn't have any headlamp with me and the water was quite cold, so I decided to return. It will be great to come back here and explore it more. Alright, in just few hundred meters from the small cave we arrived to the entrance to the bigger Gradasnica cave. Gradasnica cave is 529 meters long with 18 meters of vertical drop, located at the spring area of Velika Gradasnica at the northwestern slopes of Veliki Greben at the altitude of 375 meters. The river stream is flowing from the cave and flows into Velika Gradasnica river after 100 meters. Alright, and just on the left side from the big cave entrance we see another smaller cave. To get to it you have to scramble about 5 meters up, but it's not difficult at all. This cave was the most narrow that we visited, but at least it was dry and we thought it's gonna finish soon, but it just kept going more and more. So at this point we're going for about 5 minutes, and there are a few tunnels on the sides, but you would have to crawl down to get through them. And then we got till the end of the big tunnel, which continued with another smaller tunnel, but again you would have to crawl. For that you will need more caving equipment like helmets, lights, ropes, etc. We don't have with us right now, but it will be great to get into caving more like that. Over here we can see the top of Veliki Štrbats peak, where is one of the only few marked paths in Djerdap National Park. Over here I went for a quick plunge in Danube, even though it was very freezing. Talked about benefits of bathing in cold water before. You instantly feel more alive, you have more energy. It's really good for muscle stimulation and recovery.
I want you to know that my feelings never change.
And here we're at another cave near the Miroch area called Buronov Ponor. The karst cave with 2 entrances formed by the dissolution of limestone in the water. The cave consists of 3,593 meters long system of passages. The deepest point lies at the depth of 204 meters below the entrance. In addition to speleothems, mostly stalactites, stalagmites, flowstone and rimstone dams, there are also other types of sediments like gravel, sand, clay, brought from the surface by the Buronov Ponor water streams. It sinks underground and feeds into the Danube River through the submerged Bela Voda karst stream.
Doesn't go back. I want you to know that my feelings never changed, only the way that I share them.
So till now we descended about 100 meters, quite steep, with a very big opening. From now the ceiling gets much lower, you cannot walk upright anymore. The terrain is also quite tricky with lots of rocks on the ground. The ceiling was even lower, so the only way to get through was to crawl on your knees. Susania decided to stay back there at the bigger opening, and I decided to crawl and explore a little bit more.
And the paradise will change like a paradise in the game of life. It never stays on the same side at the same time.
As I was progressing more, there are some areas where you could stand and walk upright again, followed by another narrow passage where you have to crawl. There are also some beds hanging from the ceiling very close to me, which was quite a unique experience.
They never changed, only the way that I share them. The summer, 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 summer. It doesn't grow.
Over here I got to this narrow passage with some wood sediments at the bottom, which you could get through, but you would get really wet on your knees. Again, it would be great to explore this cave more, but I don't have a proper equipment for this.
Only the way that I share them. It doesn't go back.
Alright, over here we're going to the second entrance to the Buronov cave, which is a little bit steep. It'll use a little bit of scrambling. But only in about 100 meters after the entrance you get to this steep, about 10-meter drop where you would need ropes to descend down. And over here we are flying the drone at the little village Golubinje, just by the Danube, near the Donji Milanovac town. So Djerdap National Park is pretty much the last bigger forested wild area in Serbia. But even here the impact of animal agriculture is just staggering. The area needed to grow feed for animals or to graze animals is so big that it impacts even the national parks. Here on the other side you can see the Romania, which also has the similar problem with deforestation. I also wish it was easier to explore Djerdap National Park because there is very limited amount of hiking paths. Even those you can only enter with a mountain guide, which is just ridiculous. Serbian government, instead of prohibiting people to explore Djerdap National Park, should create more hiking paths and tackle the illegal logging, especially of the bigger trees. Hey vegan adventurers, I hope you enjoyed this vlog of exploring caves in Djerdap National Park. Stay tuned for more similar adventures from Serbia. And as always, stay healthy and stay adventurous.